Dr. Jha, I would like to talk with you about the critical issue of reopening our schools. I've been very concerned about the fact that so many of our students, particularly in the more urban areas of the country, still are not back in school. Maine, I'm pleased to say, is doing a good job in this regard. Just last week, I talked to the head of Maine CDC, who made the point that children are actually safer in schools in many cases than they would be in their community or in their home doing remote learning. I have tremendous respect for the CDC, but I'm very disappointed in its latest guidance on school reopenings. You have talked about that for some people in public health, that it did not appear to be particularly well grounded in the evidence and science. Similarly, Dr. Allen from Harvard has questioned the advice on distancing, suggesting that for children, 3 feet might be adequate as long as they're wearing masks. You've talked also about the need and important role for ventilation. Could you please give us your views on schools reopening and what could be done to expedite reopenings of virtually all schools so that we don't have more and more children falling behind, additional mental health problems, social development not progressing, and all of the adverse side effects from children not being in school?
Yeah, Senator Collins, it's a really good question. It's a really important question. The effects of children not being in school over the last year have been, I think, very substantial. They have not been borne by everyone equally. I think children from poorer backgrounds have borne disproportionately the impact of this. And then let's also be honest that when kids are at home, the caretaker is often the mother, and therefore it has had very negative effects and especially very negative labor market effects on women and their ability to work. And so the societal effects here are very, very large. And I think we need to think about how do we get kids back to school safely. One of the things I've been frustrated by is we've set up what I think has been a false dichotomy. We've set up kids' education versus teacher safety. And the truth is we need both, and you need both if you're going to do this over the long run. And I believe there is a way to get kids back into school full time now and certainly into the future that keeps teachers and staff safe and kids learning. And the principles of that, in my mind, are, and this is really based on where we are today, right now you need to have universal masking in school, and you've got to have pretty high levels of adherence, 90+%. You're not going to get 100, but you got to have most people adhering to that. Second is ventilation. I really do think that having reasonable ventilation in schools is critical, and I think most schools can get that. Third is I have argued that the testing is, I think, an important component of keeping schools safe. Look, you catch outbreaks early, you offer a level of assurance to everybody that you can do this. And last but not least is vaccinations. Given, and I said this to Senator Cassidy, given how much vaccines we now have, I believe it is important to prioritize teachers. And when I say teachers, I also mean other staff in schools. I did not mention 3 feet versus 6 feet. I did not mention deep cleaning of surfaces. I think there's a lot that's gotten us distracted. I think if we focus on these things, we can keep teachers safe, we can keep kids safe, and we can open schools. And we have the ability to do all of this now, not 6 months or a year from now. That's what we need to focus on.
I could not agree with you more, and I hope that school officials, teachers, parents, and others will follow the advice that you just gave. Thank you so much.